And we're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to NS Design's second Connect Live event featuring NS Design cello artists Calum Ingram and Greg Byers. Calum and Greg will be performing several solo songs and playing covers of each other's tunes. Calum is premiering his newest song, The Man, for this first time listening experience and discussion about all things electric cello. My name is Corey Redonnet. I am NS Design's Artist Relations Manager. We are joined by company founder and designer Ned Steinberger. Griffin Hanlalim is with me. He is NS's newest distribution center employee, as well as a fellow cellist. We have special guest NS artist Katie Larson of The Accidentals, who, by the way, are releasing a new EP called Time Out Tomorrow, so be sure to catch that. Daniel Aceves, also known as El Chelista from Spain. We have solo artist Guy Michel from Florida. Kristen Jones of the acoustic grunge group Il Yemi, which stands for I Love You and I Miss You. And six-string cellist and bassist David Lakem of California. I'll let Calum kick this off with a tune, and we'll jump right into it.
was flow for y'all.
Wow, that was really cool, Calum. I'm wondering about your sitar sound. Holy cow, that's groovy.
Well, that's thanks for the E string. You guys are like saints for doing that, by the way.
Oh, it's funny that Corey mentions the sitar sound, because it reminds me of very early on, and I sent a 6-string cello to Yo-Yo Ma because I was interested in, getting his input, and he said he thought it was pretty cool, it had a great sitar sound, and he sent it back. So that's what happened there.
You see, I think people find it either really cool or they're just kind of scratch their heads, but that's what I like about it,
Well, you obviously like to explore new territory, and wow, that was a really fabulous piece of music. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ned. That really means the world. Thank you. It's like, I got this, it's funny, like, I kind of got my electric cello kind of not too far from when I got my acoustic cello, and I just was begging my mom and dad from almost day one, I want to play electric, I want to do different things, and like, I don't know, it's just been such an inspiration, this instrument to me, and it's just like, I felt like I just gravitated towards it, like, almost just as equally as just the cello. To me, this almost is just the cello to me. It means so much to me, It's like, it's really a part of me, this instrument, so I really appreciate you for making it. It's like, yeah.
You are the whole point of our making them, because you're taking that cello and doing something. You're making me, I think you guys know that I'm not a musician, and so it's a tremendous honor, I could say, maybe, but pleasure for sure to see something that, and it's not just me, I didn't actually make that cello. That was made by craftsmen who followed, a certain design parameters and so on. And we together were able to create that cello for you. And you are the artist. You are the whole point to the whole thing. So it's all just really very exciting and rewarding for me, and hopefully for, a growing audience for you. You're all terrific.
Thank you.
I've also, Calum, I've noticed a lot of your sort of flamenco style on the cello. And I think a lot of our artists here have used that too. And it's becoming sort of its own sound in the cello community. And it's just really cool to hear,
I didn't even know I did that. That's cool. That's what I love about music. I love it.
Like that.
That's like when I was, when I was younger till now, like what really fuels me is like when people tell me things like that. Oh, you're doing a bit of that. You're doing what? That must have come from another influence that I listened to from some other band that grabbed that. And it's so cool. It's like such a melting pot music. I love that. So cool.
So, Greg, you want to hit us up with a tune?
Absolutely, I'd love to play a song for you that is completely different, but that's the whole point of this. That's what I love about it. So this is a song I wrote a while ago, and you know what? I already had my NS back then, maybe about a decade ago, my goodness. And it's about actually not just playing this electric cello, but finding my musical voice. And this song is called How I Found My Voice. Lost my voice at the age of 23, having not learned how to speak properly. But how can I lose my voice when I haven't even said anything? Said anything. I'm a diplomat, so I put my needs aside. Always smiling to keep them pacified. It's so hard to tell the truth, so I tell a little lie. Maybe it makes them happy, but what does it imply? I had my song but was afraid to sing, so I hid my voice from everything. Drowning in silence, I could see that the dream was still inside of me. Lost my voice, lost my sight, lost my way, but I never lost my fight. Lost my hope, lost my scheme, lost myself, but I never lost my dream. So I kept my feelings quiet, avoided all the strife. Safe back in the bleachers of this game called life. It took a lot of guidance to change the outcome. Being true to yourself is more important than pleasing everyone. I had my song but was afraid to sing, so I hid my voice from everything. Drowning in silence, I couldn't see that the dream was still inside of me. Lost my voice, lost my sight, lost my way, but I never lost my fight. Lost my hope, lost my scheme, lost myself, but I never lost my dream. I believe in my voice. I can sing my truth, my life without fear. Would you let me sing? Can I sing for you? No. Let me sing. Let me sing. Let me sing. Found my way, and I'll always have my fight. Found my hope, no need for scheme. Found myself, and I'll always have my dream. Found my hope, found my sight, found my way, and I'll always have my fight. I'm finding my home, no need for scheme. I'm finding myself, and I'll always have my dream. found my voice at the age of 35, having the courage to be alive. But how can I contain my voice when I still have to say everything?
Very cool, Greg. Great tune, man.
Thank you.
And very intense, really. And I could relate to it myself because, you know, finding your voice goes way beyond music, of course, right? Because you have your voice, you know, maybe I was able to find my voice making musical instruments, designing musical instruments, and I feel so fortunate that I was able to find that voice, and a lot of people helped me to find that voice, and you're helping me right now to hone that voice. But voice goes way beyond just the vocal cords, right? It has to do with putting heart and soul and be able to believe in yourself and take the risks and so on. So thank you very much.
I wrote that into the bridge when I say, like, you know, can I sing for you? And I say, no, let me sing. And then the next thing is a cello solo. That was very intentional, right? Because I do feel like this is an expression of my voice after getting to play this instrument for over a decade. And like Calum has talked about, it's different than my acoustic cello, and yet it's the same. And yet there's things I can do with this that was never possible with my acoustic. So, thank you for helping me find my voice as part of that song. It's all the more fitting to perform here today.
Well, you know something, I would just say that I appreciate that, and that I could help you find your voice is a great honor. But on the other hand, you would have found your voice without the NS cello. That's just a vehicle for you because it just goes beyond the instrument you play. It has to do with a commitment to your art. And if you had some, rejected acoustic cello because you couldn't afford, you'd still make your music. That's what's so beautiful about it.
That I would, but this does make a lot of things easier. So that is good too. I'm very appreciative.
I appreciate that. That's fantastic.
Should we jump back to Calum and hear another Calum tune?
You want to hear another of my tune? All right, cool.
Sure. All the way over to the UK. Take it away.
Yo, guys, what do you have to do it this time? I'm tired. I'm joking. I'm just changing instruments here. I was having a bit of a laugh with Corey earlier because I was like, I think I might be one of the only, or I'm not seeing any other NS artists change cello so much. Everyone's always asked me, why do you change so much, man? You just go up there and do that. And it's like, well, I don't know. I like playing with like different tunings and stuff. So that's another thing that if I can say that having the extra fifth string on there makes that really cool, especially having that E string kind of ring out a little bit, especially in open tunings. It's very awesome.
It's funny you mentioned that. Usually for the 5-string cellos in the USA, everyone uses a low F. And it seems that in Europe, everyone's using a high E mostly.
Well, it's funny, like, I think from what I kind of, because I rocked the low string for a little bit when I first got it, but everyone just wanted me to play bass for them, and I'm like, yo, I'm play cello, I don't want to just be a bass player here, you know? So I'm like, you know what, screw you, I'm going to put an E string on there. That's why I did it, actually.
Team E string, team E string.
All right, cool, you ready? So this is, I wanted to do kind of like a little flurry of different things from where my past and stuff. So this is off my first album. It's a song called Going Home. going there, and yes, I'm heading home, Whoa. Yeah, we're heading home. Yeah, we're heading. Like the eagle, yes, we're gonna fly. Yeah. Over the whole damn world. Like the eagle. Yes, we're gonna fly over the whole damn world. Oh, and yes, we're going there, and yes, we're heading home, Whoa. Your head. Never going home. There you go.
Nice. Very nice. Great delays on that, man.
Oh, thanks, man. That was fun.
Great stuff. So, we haven't heard from a lot of folks on this call, and does anybody have any thing they would like to talk about that we haven't touched on yet?
I'll jump in here.
Thank you.
Just this is super inspirational. I consider myself a side person rather than a soloist. So just to see what this instrument can do in a solo role with all the different things it can do is just super cool. So thank you, Greg and Calum, for doing this.
I definitely know that, coming from a background as a sideman as well, as somebody that just played an orchestra all the time, and I started playing jazz, and I was a bass player. You're not really a soloist as the jazz bassist a whole lot. So it definitely took me a while to, step into being a front person. So I am incredibly happy I can be a little bit of inspiration of where you can take that classical training. Because, I started Suzuki Method back in the day. So, it's pretty funny. If you have passion and you have a sound in your head and you're hearing things out in the world and you want to emulate that, on the cello, you just got to run after it. There you go.
For sure.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That was really cool. Yeah, really, really great what Greg said there. But it's really fun to mess around with stuff by yourself to figure out what you can do. Just delve within yourself, and that's this kind of I don't know. It's just this instrument is so inspirational for that, and I really like this stuff from your band. By the way, it's really cool. You guys really do some cool stuff. So you definitely got your own kind of thing going on there. I think it's cool.
Oh, thank you so much.
No, for sure. No problem.
It seems that a lot of cellists that I've noticed over the last 10 years have really jumped into using loopers and, to create those extra backdrops.
Well, that's one.
Anyone have a favorite or anything?
I just wanted to can I jump in there? Is that all right? Just when you said about the looping, one thing I wanted to say to you, Ned, about what's so amazing about this for looping, what makes it so cool and so easy to put in drum beats is he's got such a good bass below the bridge, so you can really, it's really, really, really amazing actually, You could do that on acoustic cello, it could flies off, hits you in the face, Sorry, I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I love the percussion.
One of the things about, electric instruments do have a lot of different ways that they can be used for expression. They have a tremendous range, and that's one of the things that really attracts me to electric instruments is the way they can have very many different voices. Of course, an acoustic instrument can have different voices too, depending on who's playing it, but the range of possibilities with an electric instrument clearly is it's endless, and it inspires a lot of people to try different things. And so that's very rewarding for me to see someone, see you guys really taking the instrument to a new place to explore new sounds and so on. It's the whole idea behind it was to give you guys the opportunity to do that. And when I see you taking the opportunity, it's clearly very rewarding for me. Thank you.
Thanks.
I was going to add too. Hi everyone, by the way, I'm Katie, and I've been hanging out in the YouTube chat, and I noticed there was a comment kind of about the challenge of singing while playing cello, which both of y'all have really great voices, and I love the way you're balancing it with the cello. And I think that it can be somewhat of a challenge too, since cello is often in our vocal range, so kind of playing in that same vocal range and trying to focus on pitch can be difficult. Wondering, if that comes into play in maybe your practice routine, or if it comes natural, or if it's more of a challenge.
Do you want to take this one, Greg, or do you want me to take this one?
Oh my goodness!
Nobody wants to.
I don't want to go anywhere near the pitch conversation right now.
I consider myself a cellist first and a vocalist second. So what I had to realize was that I needed my focus on the vocals because I can just unconsciously do the cello stuff. And so what I've had to work on is my rhythm comping needs to just be unconscious. And I've talked to Brian Wilson, who's a great cellist and a friend. He talked about how he would just read books and play a very simple comping pattern over and over, but he would read from the newspaper and read books to sort of really make some of these comping patterns unconscious. So you can have sort of two levels of thought going on at the same time. In my best moments, that's what I'm thinking about. I also try to do things that sit well in my vocal range, and then I can do crazier stuff on cello and make it all fit together. If I do the other way around, no bueno. You don't want to hear that. So you gotta understand. You gotta understand. Your strengths and weaknesses. As a musician, and I definitely think. Calum, you can jump in here, but just jump in, and then I have a thought about the loopers.
Oh, are you sure? Okay, cool. Yeah, I was I definitely think accommodating for the voice first is super important if you're vocalizing. It's like one of the most important things. But I had this funny memory when you're talking about that, Katie. There, when I was in because I went to the New School Jazz program in New York, and it was all kind of instrumental stuff. Really, I was there for cello, and I remember when I was there was when I started wanting to sing and play, and I remember very clearly one of the first things that I did to try and learn to do that was Jimi Hendrix Little Wing, and I just read line after line and just practiced over and over and over, and I matched lines with the chords because if that one worked, this happened to work really great because the chords move kind of as the words move, so that was really, really helpful for me, So that's a great exercise, Little Wing, actually, for the cello, singing and playing that. It's works really well. Do you want to add something there, Greg? And
Well, I just a quick thing about today I will be using a looper, but and I've had loopers be major parts of shows in the past, and sort of the space I got to was. I think loopers are great tools, but I actually have a system where I can use backing tracks, and of course, kind of the classical musician in me doesn't want to use a backing track. I want to create things live for you, but what I thought about was the importance of the overall music performance and what I can do live, right? And how I can focus what I'm best at, how I can focus on my strengths on this instrument. And I think one of the ways of doing that is taking my multi-instrumentalism, recording all the tracks piece by piece for these, or hiring a drummer that sounds way better than me, and really making a really nice quality sounding track that then when I sing and play on top of, it's not just some cheap karaoke thing, but it's actually a real musical product. Right, and so I will also do. We're going to do a song swap later. I'm going to use some looping for that, and I think there's great tools for looping. But I also think there's musical validity in understanding how to use a backing track. So for those of you that are poo-pooing me for using a backing track, that is my defense. I have no shame yet left, so it's okay.
No defense required.
The important thing is that the cool soloing is live, right? That's what's important.
So I have a question. So how do you choose either 4, 5, or 6 string?
How do I tune
So I picked a 5 string because I thought 6 strings was too close to a guitar. To be honest, I was like, I don't want to confuse with the guitar. And I think Calum and I had the same thing. I think this came with a low F. And I was already dabbling a little bit on bass, and I was like, man, I want to shred. I need that high E string. I think I nailed it because the neck width of this feels about right. I don't have super big hands, and the width, the difference between the acoustic radius of the bridge and this, it's close enough. I think I really found the instrument that was right for me in terms of the 5 string.
Yeah, I think. Sorry.
Go.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think kind of similar to me. I really, it was even I kind of felt a bit rebellious even going for the 5 string, let alone the 6 string, but it's amazing. And it's so great for chords and stuff, and for getting the extra little flavor on there. Yeah, it's great. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
Cool. It seems some of us in the U.S., we have some high E string converts already. So
nice.
I guess I was wrong earlier, Hey, Greg, you want to give us another one?
I would love to highlight the high E string at some point in this song. We'll see when. Oh, yes. So just like Calum, this is really a great opportunity for me to just play a couple songs that have come throughout the years. And the first one I wrote a long time ago. This is a little more recent, and it's actually about a breakup. But that's okay. It's about moving on positively from a breakup. So this song is called Not This Time. Living on my own now, 1,000 miles away, tired of the letdown, but there's nothing I can change. I'm standing on my own now, without you in the way, I'm scared of what will be now, but I don't know what's left to say, 'cause this time, when I make my mind, I know it'll be the right one. Gonna draw the line and step into the bright sun. When I take my time and go without distraction, gonna be alright and no, I won't be undone. And if you change your mind 100,000 million times, it wouldn't change my mind. This time. This time. I make it on my own now, without you in the way, not scared of what will be now, 'cause there's nothing left to say.
Very nice. Thank you for shredding a little bit on that E string, man.
Oh, that's my favorite part, you know.
Your distorted tone, the distorted tone sounds so good. You talked earlier about like putting it through a bunch of boost pedals, right?
Yeah, so gain staging and like using analog gear to create overtones was something that took me a really long time to not just get explained properly to me, but then to like understand how I could use that. And I was very lucky. There's a wonderful guitar shop here in St. Paul called Willie's Guitars. And I was the crazy dude that brought this instrument in and sat there for 4 hours and played like 20 different distortion pedals. Because at that point I had a product of a maker that I'm not gonna say. And I just really was not happy with their multi-effects processing. And so I spent a lot of money on it, and it was a hunk of junk. I was very disappointed. So I said, I'm going to buy one pedal that does one thing really well. And I ended up getting a pedal by Exotic Effects, this AC Plus. It's a 2-channel boost that uses analog circuitry. And the idea is if you raise the volume of something through analog circuits, the circuits are going to mess with the sound in harmonically pleasing, cool ways. So I've got a couple pedals that I just stack on top of each other, and it gives me that analog sound before going into like my digital board. But thank you. I've worked super hard on that sound, so I really appreciate it.
Well, it's a tone that really fits a cello to me. Like I've heard some distortion on cellos before, but it always ends up either sounding too much like a guitar or like a little bit of a, I don't know, not distorted enough. And so it sounds like it just didn't sound quite as much like it fit as much here. Like it's very it feels very balanced between those two extremes. So
thank you so much. That means so much to me. I'm gonna get emotional. No. I just encourage everybody, find artists not necessarily on your instrument that you love their sound of. And so for me, I'm inspired by guitarists, electric bassists, electric violinists, you know what I mean? Mahavishnu Orchestra and all that stuff. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do I sound like that? You know what I mean? And then I always keep exploring. I don't think I'm done. I think there's still another level to get to with my tone. So I'm always trying out stuff, always.
I can assure you, you're not done. Otherwise, we wouldn't be interested in listening to you. Of course, you're not done. It's an exploration. It never stops.
Absolutely.
Cool. Love it. Should we jump back to Calum?
Can I say something else about just on the side? That's a fairly interesting rig you've got there on the frame strap. So you're creative in more than one area. I can see that. So tell us about that. I'm curious.
So a big thank you to my cello teacher, Thomas Rosenberg, who is the real inventor. I just had a goal, which was I had an old version of the standing system, and I found that the instrument was, especially the bridge area, was too close to my body, and that was sort of affecting my technique, forcing me to bend my wrists a little bit. And so what I really wanted was a little more angle on the instrument, and I also wanted a 2-shoulder support system, because I've actually broken my left shoulder several times in my life, and especially if I'm playing a long gig, I want to have that weight distribution on both shoulders. And so, honestly, the first step was just talking to my amazing cello teacher and brainstorming essentially this little piece of wood here, and then the top half is actually the seated system of yours, which I chopped in half. It still works. I can still assemble it and sit down and play it like the normal, put between your legs system that you have, right? But it's quite perfect for providing that resistance right against my chest where I rest my cello. So it's very secure. And then I just went into a mountaineering store and they gave me some seatbelt material and helped me rig this up.
So have you filed a patent on this yet?
I mean, I figured we could collaborate. My uncle is a patent lawyer, so I wonder if he's watching.
Oh, really? I'd like to know. I'd like to meet him. But anyway, in all seriousness, very creative. And I if you would, be interested in taking some photos of it, and sending to me, I'd be very curious just to see what you're doing there. It seems to be working very well. The original system was always to be as minimal as possible, and the straps on both shoulders wasn't really what I was thinking. But I'm very interested in what you got there. So
I'm so happy to share it with you and to have a dialogue. This is like never in my wildest dreams. I was like, oh yeah, I'll just talk to the instrument maker and he'll like be inspired by how I wear the cello. It's the coolest thing. So
you're right. Most instrument makers are not worth talking to, but we'll see where we can go with this. Okay.
Great.
Thank you.
Yeah, I have to. Can I jump in a little bit just there about the strap and stuff? Like, yeah, I love the strap. It's great, but I totally understand what you're saying, Greg, about that. And sometimes I find it kind of shifts to one way. Sometimes, like goes to to your waist. But the thing is, that can be quite convenient as well. If you're like nipping by someone by the stage, you just go, and it just kind of whips by on your on your shoulders. So that'd be cool to have something that could like go like lock in and lock back or something. That'd be cool. Sorry,
Hey, but one of the, from perspective of trying to design something that's going to work for a cellist, I know that you want, a cello is generally not played vertically, but more like at 45 degrees, right? So, but you project the cello out from your body at 45 degrees, and the next thing you know, it can become very unstable, and there's a lot of challenges in it. So that's why, it's a learning process for me to hear from you guys and what you're doing, and we find an opportunity to come up with something that makes it work better. Then of course that's the goal, but it's inherently challenging, again, to get the instrument to be out from your body and stable, because the further out it extends, the more it tends to want to rock back and forth, the less stable it is. So I'm looking forward to following up with Greg on that.
Absolutely, but I was just the crazy cellist that wanted to run around while I was playing, so I had to figure out some way to keep it stable.
It looks cool. Good job.
Great.
Good job. Should we jump over to Calum? And I think he's got a new song he wants to premiere.
I'd love to play that song right now if that's all right. Yeah. This is a song. It's very new. No one's heard it. It's not out yet. So you guys are like the first ones to hear this. It's a song called "The Man," and I'm really happy with it. I'm curious what you guys think. It'd be cool to hear what you think about it. Wall, stealing my prey deep in sight. You know what I want, yes, you know what I need. I've got to be the man that I can be. What do you want from me? What can I do for you? Yeah. What can you do for me when I got to be heard, but you're getting me burned? Oh yeah, you're getting me so goddamn burned. I'm like the thunder shooting through the sky, deeper and deeper, deep into the dark. You know what I want, yes, you know what I need. I've got to be the man that I can be. What can you do for me? What will I do for you? What can you do for me when I got to be heard, but you're getting me burned? inside. You know what I want. Oh yes, you know what I need. Oh yes, you know what I need.
Yeah, man. Great tune.
Thanks, man. Appreciate that. It was fun.
I'd like the number of your bank account to start with, and we'll go from there.
Well, those are good words.
It's a great tune. Thank you very much. Really, I've been joking with you.
Thanks, Ned. I really appreciate that. It was really fun. It's really fun, like, kind of playing a tune the first time for people, you know, especially some, like, having the opportunity to play with other great cellists is really nice. Thanks, guys, for everything. It's awesome.
Thank you very much.
So I want to mention I'm impressed by the variety of techniques that you use in your songwriting.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, it seems like you're going all over the fingerboard and using all sorts of different I don't know, just the chords that you use, and when you were playing those triple stops at one point, and you slide up and do all sorts of little bends and maneuvers, and it's really cool. Every time I think you've like used up a whole bag of tricks, you pull out something new.
That's exactly what I want to hear. Thanks, man. I like to be the man of mystery. You know, you can't throw all your eggs in one basket. You know?
It's kind of like doing the instrument in a way, just like exploring the possibilities of what you can do with it.
Yeah, that's my whole thing, man. If I wanted to know like what my music was gonna be like, or what everything was gonna be like kind of like what everything would be, I wouldn't bother. The whole point is for me is exploring, and I love in live performance, especially with this instrument. It's so cool to not know what's coming next. Sometimes to have sections planned where anything could happen, and that's just so fun to play on these instruments. You know. Yeah.
Love it. Should we jump over to Greg? I think you were going to play a song of Calum's, correct?
Oh, yeah. I want to hear. I'm so excited.
For sure, and I'm very excited to premiere one of Calum's tunes. But I know one of my favorite things when I play this instrument, generally people are like, first of all, what is that? That's my favorite response when people hear me. They're like, what is that? And then the second thing is, I didn't know a cello could do that. So I know Calum feels the same way. We're always trying to elicit that response. So in that way, I'm gonna play a song by Calum. It's called the game. One, two, three, yes, I know you play the game. Yeah, I know you done wrong. Yeah, I know I'm not your conscience, but I am your friend. Yes, I'm not your conscience, oh, but I am your friend. Yes, I know you've done wrong. Yeah, I know your foolish deeds. Yeah, I know I'm not your conscience, but I am your friend. Yeah, I'm not your conscience, oh, but I am your friend.
Cool, man. Getting funky there.
Oh, we're not done.
Heck, love that.
We're not done. We're not done.
Oh, sorry.
This is just like the YouTube video where there's like a really long pause in between sections. It's great. Every day, oh. I said every day I got the blues, yeah. I said every day, yes, every single day I got them goddamn blues. Now we're done. Now we're done.
Shredding a little bit there. Nice.
I broke some bow hair, so that means I'm shredding, right?
Yeah.
That was very cool, Greg, man. I like that. That was very fun, man. Awesome.
Thank you for the inspiration. It's a great tune. It was a great tune. Super fun to adapt to my own vibe, my own blues, you know? So thank you, man.
You made
Dope,
it happen.
man.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah. Delta Blues cello. I did not expect that.
We were worried you were going to break a string for a second.
Well, thank you to my amazing endorsements, such as Diodario Strings. I'm super happy with them. They make such amazing strings for this instrument. Thank you guys so much. Please check out all of Diodario's products. I also use a Coda bow. This thing is just as durable and portable and awesome as my NS, and it is so important to my overall sound. So thank you to Coda bow. You guys are the best. And all that comes together to make the amazing cello sound we have today. So thank you to all my sponsors.
Nice.
Well, you said it, man. We all have the same sponsor, so I don't need to say it. No, true.
Nice. Calum, you were going to play a tune of Greg's, right?
Well, it's my turn now. Okay, cool. I'm really excited about this. I love that we can do this. We can like trade tunes. It's fun. All right, here we go. Oh, sass no glass, but your heart's full of golden dreams. Yeah. When you walk by, too shy to say so high every time that you're on the scene. Oh no, you get mad, outside, then you feel bad. Now why, know why your schemes. Oh, well, you need to know how, show how. Need nothing, little thing that you need. Oh, yeah. Oh, you're just as smart as can be. Oh, wanna help your credibility. Could she be the apple of your eye? Wanna try? I wanna see your body shaking. I wanna see your body get down now and groove. Oh yeah. I wanna see your body get down, move down. Wanna see the sweat burn out your knees. Yeah, I'm gonna show you. Well, you're outcast at last. No sense, no class, but your heart's full of golden dreams. Oh, when she walked by, too shy to say you're so high. Every time she's on the scene. Yeah, oh, but you don't get high, don't get on the same old lies. I'll never matter when you be. Oh, yeah, yeah. Well, you need to know how, show how. Every time, little thing that you show me. Oh, yeah. Oh, I wanna see your body shaking. I wanna see your body groove down to the beat. Yeah, I wanna see your body get down. I wanna see your body make down to the knee. Yeah. Gonna play some more for you.
Wow.
Awesome.
That was fun.
Great. Absolutely fantastic.
Thanks. Great tune, Greg. Love it, man.
Oh man, it's so cool to hear you do it. It's so great you put your own spin on it. That was amazing.
Thanks, man.
Oh my gosh.
I got a feeling that Calum is going to put his spin on just about anything he does.
Well, you know, so this is, I was talking to Greg about this when we had a little meeting to talk about, like, what songs we're going to do and stuff, and, like, I was saying, like, you know, just warning you, man, when I do a cover, I do it completely differently. I don't, in my opinion, like, this might be a bit controversial, but I don't really see the point in doing a cover if you're just going to do a straight cover. I mean, straight covers are cool, but, like, just, like, put a little bit of your own thing on it, you know? Let's make it your performance. I don't know, that's how I feel about it, you know? I don't mean that in, like, a, you know, weird way or anything.
No, that definitely had your voice on it.
And my cat approves. My cat and I were dancing. We both approve. Very, very danceable. That's the whole thing. You got the spirit of it, man. That's exactly what I was
If your
hoping.
cat dug it, it's good, right?
That's so hard to please.
Absolutely. This one's hard to please, that's for sure.
Aw, so cute. What's his name? Girl or boy?
Well, this is Lucifer right here.
Lucifer, nice.
Lucifer. And he lives up to his name all the time. He's very inquisitive. And then his sister is down here. His sister is Salem.
Is Lucifer evil?
Well, not necessarily. It actually means first light. And so I named him that partially because he's got this little patch of white on his chest. He's not an all-black cat. So there was a little significance. Apparently my grandfather's cat was also named Lucifer, which I just thought was really cool. So.
David, did you have a question or comment?
Oh, no, I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone, don't
No
be
worries.
shy.
Well, I really enjoyed hearing your both of you guys tonight. Just really fantastic performances, kind of pushing that cello in a totally different direction than probably a lot of people think it can be, and it's great to hear that.
Thank you.
So I do have one question actually. So what are your inspirations?
my like inspiration, yeah.
Yep. Your primary. Yep. What's your primary inspiration
Well,
for your music?
yeah, it's always been like so. When I was young, what I used to do, I used to play along with my cello. with
Wait
my
a
parents.
second. When you were young, come on now, man. I'm sorry.
You know what I mean, Ned.
I don't mean to cut you off. I'm just making a little joke there, but
No,
you were
no,
too
it's-
young to me from my perspective. Anyway,
Well, I'm doing
please.
something right then. I like that. That's great. Be worse if we sound like old, right? Cool. Like yeah, so like I used to grab my cello and just jam along with like my parents' like blues albums and stuff. You know, so a lot of my early inspirations come from like Fabulous Thunderbirds, early blues stuff. Albert King, Albert Collins, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix was a massive one, and like Peter Gabriel's a big one for me too. Actually, those songwriters, Yeah. Greg, what about you, man?
I think we hear some Peter Gabriel in your song stuff. I'm wondering, do you take any sort of inspiration from Rory Gallagher, the famous Scottish guitar player?
Oh, no, Rory Gallagher, of course. Yeah, he's amazing. Like Taste, like I love Taste. It's great, man. Yeah, for sure. Except I think he was Irish, though, right? Sorry, I don't mean to correct you.
Oh,
there.
maybe he was Irish. That was a faux pas. Sorry.
Set the record straight. I have a lot of influences, so I'm gonna try to like compress it down. Kind of started just jamming along to songs that like kids my age like were listening to on the radio. So I was jamming to like Metallica and Red Hot Chili Peppers and playing Californication before orchestra rehearsal because that's the music we liked. And it lays really well on the cello too. That's a great jam, Californication. Anyways, so I mean, there's some influence of like that sort of like rock, punk, early aughts, late 90s pop. But then I really got inspired by actually anime music. Yoko Kanno is a huge influence, the music of Cowboy Bebop and later Samurai Champloo. And she's done so many amazing series. Ghost in the Shell, oh my goodness. Not the Scarlett Johansson movie. We don't talk about that. But moving forward from that, then I went to jazz school. And so, I have one album up on my wall, and that's Larry Young, Unity. And Larry Young was an amazing jazz organist that sort of spoke to me in the sense that he was doing things with the organ in the 60s that a lot of people like Jimmy Smith and Big John Hammond, they weren't doing. They were doing a lot of soul music. And Larry Young was pushing into like Coltrane territory and hard bop and modal jazz. So he became a huge influence, and Joe Henderson, and then Joni Mitchell. I'm really inspired by Joni Mitchell of all people. So it's just, I think I hit the really big ones earlier on in life, and I still continue to find influences all the time. Like lately, Pedrito Martinez. If y'all don't know who Pedrito Martinez is, that is some fire music. Go check him out, all right? But it's just, it all sort of comes together in this. So hope that answers your question.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wow. Well, thank you all for joining us. It was so great to have everyone involved in this be a part and hear some of your beautiful music, Calum and Greg. Thank you.
Oh man, I cannot it's just been a great session. Absolutely fantastic. Great music and great way to connect with you all. I'm so grateful that we could do this together, and looking forward to continuing this opportunity to connect. It's really wonderful, especially for me. As you guys probably know, I'm not a musician, but to be participating in this wonderful development of human expression. I mean, I don't want to get too corny with it, but still, it's fantastic. Thank you all.
Sure. Well, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. Our special guests, the Ennis Design team, of course, company founder and designer Ned Steinberger, our featured performers, Calum Ingram and Greg Byers for sharing your wonderful music and performances with us. A special thanks to the man behind the scenes and our moderator, Alden Robinson, who kept us all in line. And the NS Connect series explores gear, musicianship, and the ever-changing creative experience, especially during the challenging times we are working through this past year. So thank you all. Have a great evening. Peace out.